Hey guys, it's Joey. So I finally saw 10 Cloverfield Lane on Friday night after many months of waiting, not that many months, but a couple months of waiting, many years of waiting to see something in the Cloverfield universe or side universe or whatever the heck it is. We'll get into that later. This is going to be a review of 10 Cloverfield Lane, spoiler free. I'm not going to give it a number or anything. I'm just going to tell you what I did and didn't like about it. And then you can come to your own conclusion on whether or not you want to see it. And if you have seen it, then go to my second video, which I will be recording, and we'll discuss it there. This is for people who have not seen it and are deciding on whether or not they want to go to the theater and check it out. So this movie is pretty much, I like to call it a detail of the Cloverfield universe. It feels like an indie horror movie, like a well done indie horror movie, and that's probably what I like the most about it. We have John Goodman, who is a huge actor, celebrity. We have Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who you might know from Scott Pilgrim. And then we have John Gallagher Jr., who I know from the movie Short Term 12, which was awesome. I recommend that movie. It has Brie Larson, who just won Best Actress at the Oscars, so definitely check out that movie. It's really great. But 10 Cloverfield Lane, it is a thriller for people that are kind of tired of seeing the big action, big budget thriller movies we see in the theaters. It's very self-contained and very, very muted and subtle, but not. And I love it for that. I think the movie was so well done. It was well written. It was very carefully written, carefully cut. Everything that's in there is meant to be in there. They're working with, I don't know what the budget was for this, but it was done in secret for a while. I know it came from another script, then they sort of transformed it into 10 Cloverfield Lane. It came from a script called The Cellar, which was just a spec script that Bad Robot got, and they worked on, and then they decided this might work in the Cloverfield universe, so let's make it. So if you're looking for a thriller, but not looking to have the same old thriller, and you're looking for something a little creepier and a little unsettling, but you're not sure why, then 10 Cloverfield Lane is definitely going to do it for you. Without going into too much, John Goodman's character his backstory is something that is very questionable, and his motives you just don't really understand. You don't understand where this character is coming from at all. Like, what is going on in his head? That's what you're wondering through the whole movie. What is going on in Howard's head? And you kind of know what's going on in Michelle's head, which is Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character. You follow her. The story is basically following her through this very strange and unsettling situation that she has to get herself out of somehow. So if you're looking for something a little different, something that is not as overproduced as what you usually see, I definitely recommend you see this movie. What I didn't like about it was it felt like there was more that could have been done, and some stuff it felt like some stuff was like let out. I don't know if it was left out intentionally to enhance the movie, but it felt like it was missing pieces that would have made it feel a little more full, because it does have an indie movie vibe, which isn't a bad thing. Dan Trachtenberg is the director, and he hasn't really done anything else except the Portal short film, which is amazing, and I could see why they got him for this project because of that, because it has sort of the same tone and same feeling. Somebody's trapped in this room and they're trying to get out. But I don't know if I'm not going to blame it on him. It's probably something that happened in the editing. I'm sure there was a lot that they cut out, but it felt like there was stuff missing, and to me, I felt it in the front of my brain, like, wow, there should be more here. There should be something more happening. There should be more lines of dialogue. And I know that they were very good at keeping stuff out. That's very important, to keep stuff out, to leave things unsaid. And they did a good job of that, but some things, I think, warranted some more explanation. And that was my big gripe with it, because a lot of J.J. Abrams films and Bad Robot films, there's a lot just happening around it, and that's the point of the movies. There's this situation, and there's just chaos around it, and it's all about the people, of course, but there just could have been a little bit more said. If you want to know more about Howard, I know he's a creepy dude. We don't know much about him, and we know some stuff from the ARG, and if you're not following that, I have a video about it that you could watch if you haven't seen it yet. I'll link to it. Overall, I'd say it was a very good film. I enjoyed it. You could decide whether or not you want to go see it. I recommend it, but if thrillers aren't your thing, and if you're not into, you know, indie horror, or if you like things to have more explanation, and you like things to feel more full, or like big productions, you're not going to get that with this. It's very much a film for people who were into the original Cloverfield and got it, and are into a lot of indie, very subtle horror or thrillers or sci-fi. It's for those people. It feels like a film for people that really love film and filmmaking. It's a good film. I recommend it. I wish I could say more, but I feel like if I were to say more, I'd go into spoiling things. You've seen the trailers, you've watched some interviews. If you're not sure, a lot of the interviews are not spoilery. I think there's a YouTube channel called Scream Slam that has really good interviews with each one of them. It has one with J.J. Abrams when he goes into pretty good explanations of what the film was and what it became, and I recommend you check those out. All in all, I give it a thumbs up. I give it a 2 thumbs up. I enjoyed it. So let me know if you have seen it or if you're going to see it. Subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And I'll see you in the next video. If you watch my next video where I talk about the movie, and then we could go into further discussion there. Alright guys, see you then.